If you're trying to cut from over 30% body fat down to 20%, here's the truth. Most guys follow a plan that guarantees they're going to crash before they ever get close. You slash calories, swear off carbs, and hammer cardio. And a few weeks later, your energy tanks, your cravings spike, and you end up right back where you started. I know that cycle because I lived it for years. That's before I finally figured out how to break it and lost 80 pounds myself. I've also coached hundreds of men in their 30s and 40s to lose 50 to 100 pounds using the exact same approach. What nobody tells you is this: the fastest way to 20% is not through suffering. It's using a smarter system that doesn't burn you out for the long haul. So in this video, I'm going to show you the correct way to cut down to 20% without starving, crashing, or triggering the same rebound that ruins most transformations. Do this right and you'll finally create a cut that you can stick to all the way to 20% and beyond. And if you don't understand this first piece, your cut is doomed before you even start. So let's expose the real enemy that you're fighting. This first section is going to be about what's really happening. I think it's important to understand that for the long-term success of your plan. I'm calling this the war on three fronts. Alexander the Great, through the research for this video, I discovered that he, I remember from school, but he did a wonderful military campaign. It seemed very, very strategic. He seemed like a genius. But where he made his one mistake that really was his downfall is whenever he went too far east, he was divided. He had a war on literally three fronts, and those three fronts are what ended up costing him, in grand scheme, his campaign. That seemed to be exactly what's happening in fat loss. Your muscle starts slipping, your movement drops, and your cravings spike. And whenever you're battling all three, just like Alexander the Great, you have no hope of winning. So let's break down those three things. You're losing muscle first. During the course of a fat loss diet, the chances of you losing muscle are pretty great if you're not eating enough protein and you're not lifting. So we got to be battling that muscle loss. We have to make sure to at least keep our muscle. The good news is that if you are lifting and with proper intensity, and I talk about this in several videos, it's a topic of this video. If you're lifting and you're lifting well, you're going to be keeping your muscle as long as you're getting remotely enough protein. When your muscle drops, you don't have a hope of succeeding. You will for sure rebound all that weight that you lost, because your overall calorie burn just drops to where you have to keep eating like a bird. I mean, I'm sure you've been there before where you lost a bunch of weight and it felt like in order to continue, I have to drop my calories again. It's just not sustainable. That's because a lot of what you lost was muscle. You're also fighting low movement. Almost all of the clients that come to me whenever I'm training them, I am shocked and kind of excited, and I'll tell you why in a second, but I'm shocked by how little they move. Now, the reason I'm excited is because if you don't take enough steps, that is a huge opportunity. If you're walking 4,000 to 5,000 steps a day, your chances of losing fat greatly increase if you can get those up to 10,000. It might take time, but if you can build that up to 8 and then 9 and then 10, you can start to lose fat pretty effortlessly. And the last part is cravings. And if you have a physical job and you get plenty of movement, I find that the cravings are the number one thing, because you're burning so many calories during your job. And then if you start to lose muscle, it's just everything's dysregulated. And from years of listening to hunger cues that weren't probably supposed to be happening, which is how a person ends up in their situation having a lot of fat in the first place, you're just kind of used to fulfilling those hunger cues that start to tell you to eat. So that's the setup. Now, before you feel completely hopeless, the rest of the video is on solving that. All right, so movement dominates the cut. It is really, I think, the most important part. So I'm gonna show you this on my whiteboard here. A 250-pound man, if they added 5,000 steps per day, they would see 200 to 300 extra calories burned. That could be as high as 2,100 calories per week. That's just over half a pound of weight loss a week just from steps. Now, that might not seem super exciting, but you combine that with everything, with the muscle and the diet and all this stuff, and you have a pretty effortless half a pound a week added on to everything else that you're doing. I really think that fixing your steps could get you to 20% on its own. Now, I'm not saying you should just simply walk more. Please follow the rest of what's in this video, but it really can get you to 20% just by itself. Steps create the most sustainable deficit because you're not hungry from the cardio that you're doing. I was really increasing my cardio and I just enjoy it. But for me, I was so hungry. And so I think steps, I've really been focusing on that lately, and that's where I've gotten the leanest that I've ever been in my life. Next part is where everything finally clicks. Without it, it all falls apart. You remember those first smart cars, those little tiny buggies that look like toy cars for adults? Imagine this, you're trying to get up a hill and this poor car is screaming. You're in one of those stupid smart cars. The engine's whining like it's filing a complaint with HR. Now also picture your 300-pound Uncle Joe in the passenger seat, plus his 2-pound burrito from Chipotle that he just couldn't wait to eat. That little smart car isn't making it up that hill. That's your body when you're trying to cut without muscle. So I think that it might be important to reframe that you stay lean or you get lean through muscle building phases, not through cutting. I mean, you're gonna end up cutting because of it, but You get what I'm saying? More muscle makes cutting dramatically easier. And I personally know that because I know that I'm not the most muscular, but I do have more muscle than I've ever had. And this is the easiest time I'm having of getting to a lean phase. I'm cutting currently on 3,000 calories a day. The best cut in general is lifting hard, walking a lot, and eating enjoyable meals. That's my opinion, at least. By the way, if you don't already have it, my cookbook is totally free. Fire recipes, please just check it out. It's free, link in the comment. What comes next fixes the one thing that ruins every cut every time. And that's that your diet should feel enjoyable. And clean eating is what I think costs most people their cut. Imagine you get home from a long, stressful day at work. The last thing you want to do, I know you've been here, is make dinner. So you order pizza, feel guilt, eat the whole darn thing, and start again tomorrow. Now imagine coming home and pulling out one of those recipes from my cookbook. One of them is cheesy Mexican protein rice. It is my favorite recipe in that thing. I've said that in other videos, but it still is my favorite. There's also lasagna in there, and it's normal pasta. It's not just like special protein noodles or something that cost a bunch of money. It is pasta meals with so much meat that it makes it a high protein, very filling, very space taking up meal. Imagine coming home, pulling that out, sticking that in the microwave, and that is how you stay on your diet. High protein meals that take up a lot of space in your stomach, they literally just help you stay on your diet because you're full and you're satisfied. You don't have to go, I ate a piece of chicken and a bunch of broccoli. Now I still need that appetite, satisfied. You can get it from the meals. So what comes next is what turns a hard cut into something you can sustain forever. I really think life breakdowns hit you a lot harder than diet breakdowns. So have a system ready and don't depend on willpower. I'm going to show you what that system is. One is meal prep, and I hate to say it, but those recipes in my cookbook are meal prep sized things, so seriously get that. 2 is protein before events. 3 is maintenance is fine. If you have to maintain for a week because something's extra hard, that's fine. And 4 is that going over calories is not a big deal. It seriously isn't going to kill you. Let's talk about these 2 real quick because I think these require a little bit of nuance. Maintenance is fine. Imagine if every time that something hard happened or something unprepared, whatever, fill in the blank for all the reasons you ever fall off a diet. Imagine that during that time, you're like, you know what? I'm going to be okay going up by 500, 700 calories. It has a lot to do with this one. We're going to segue into it. But I'm okay by going up on my calories a little bit and maintaining, even if it was for a month. Imagine every month, every other month, you progressed by 6, 7 pounds that month. And then the next month you maintained instead of gaining it back. You would be at your goal in no time. Sure, it might take a year or 2, but you would be there. And you don't have to do that every other month. That's kind of a crazy example. That's a good segue into going over your calories is perfectly fine. I want to show you the math that I think is very encouraging that I do not see any of my clients realize when they go over by like 700 calories, they're not actually going over. Let me show you. Okay, if you're a big guy, you were probably somewhere in a 750 calorie deficit to begin with. I recommend a 500 calorie deficit, but there's a really good chance that whenever you start rocking and rolling here, your deficit's going to become bigger. So 750 calorie deficit is 1.5 pounds of body fat loss per week. Let's say you go over by 600 calories because you, ate too much pizza or something like that with the boys. You're still in a 150 calorie deficit. Now here's the thing, the scale won't say that the next day. The scale is going to jump up, but that is water weight filling in the deficit from all the sodium and water and everything that wasn't in your muscles because you've been on this long-term diet. What I find a lot of times is that as a person's weight goes up and down, sorry for all the writing here, but it'll spike way up and I'll tell my clients, hey, just chill and watch. This is gonna go right back down. I kid you not, day 2, 3, it's way down here. And they're like, oh my gosh, you were right. And it's, then they keep progressing. And that is the answer. Having that system to fall back on, I really think is just so big. Having that structure, falling back on systems instead of how you feel, knowing that math that I just showed you, that is what is going to keep you on your game. So if you want the full playbook that I use to lose 80 pounds, go watch this 27 lessons video next. It's going to save you years of trial and error.